Hey guys, my name is Gert Hendricks. I'm a safety coach at FTS Safety, and if you are working on a construction site, or even if you are getting people to work with you, then you need to have a decent understanding of the Construction Regulation 2014. So let's quickly have a look and see what is the new changes and what is happening there. Now you will see these three levels is then appointed in different responsibilities. For example, the client will appoint the principal contractor using the client specifications and baseline risk assessment. So client specifications is a document that states for the principal contractors or all contractors on his site that this is the minimum safety regulations that is applicable on his site. He is allowed to go over and above the minimum requirements of the construction regulation. So he might change some specifications due to the risk that is attached to working on his site. He will then also appoint you underneath the Construction Regulation 5.1, which states that you are also now binding with the construction regulation and that you need to comply to the minimum of the law. The principal contractor on his behalf might appoint a subcontractor, which is actually not mentioned in the Act anymore. All are equal as contractors. But the principal contractor then will forward the client specification and baseline risk assessment of the client. He will then, on his own behalf, the principal contractor will appoint the subcontractors as a 37.2 between two companies, and he will bind them underneath Construction Regulation 7.1 to the construction regulation. Now everybody needs to show proof of evidence of compliance. So that is why they have a safety file. Everybody must have a safety file. These files need to be audited not exceeding 30 days as per Construction Regulation 5 by the client. So let's quickly see what happens if there is an incident. Well, firstly, you will have the Department of Labour coming onto site, and the client is ultimately responsible for health and safety. So the buck stops with him. The department will ask him, prove to us reasonable person. Prove to us that you have acted within the Act as a reasonable person to ensure that nobody got injured with him on your construction site. I have also audited him, not exceeding 30 days, to see that he has implemented all the safety specifications as per his safety file. Then the Department of Labour will say, fantastic, we have got proof of evidence that you are a reasonable person, and they will jump over to the principal contractor. Here, the Department of Labour will ask the same question, say, prove to us a reasonable person. The principal contractor will then say, well, I have forwarded the client specifications and baseline risk assessments to my site and my contractors. I have appointed him underneath 37.2 and 7.1, and I have audited him. I've got a permanent safety officer on site, and they say, great, we have got proof of evidence that you are as a responsible person. The subcontractor needs to prove reasonable person in his safety file, as well as the principal contractor in his safety file, that they have appointed this employee, that they have trained him, that he was competent, that they have put all the necessary controls in place to prove reasonable person. But if any one of these people, the role players in the construction regulation, cannot prove reasonable person and have failed to in any one of their duties from the client, they will be prosecuted. If it is the principal contractor which have failed in their duties, they will be prosecuted. If the subcontractor, for argument's sake, have compiled a safety file and can prove reasonable person, then he will be okay. So the client is ultimately responsible for health and safety, which appoints the principal contractor, and the principal contractor appointing the subcontractor to ensure that everybody is safe on site. Ultimately, the responsibility is the client. So make sure that your safety file is of such a nature that it's not only protecting you legally for when an incident happens, but your safety file is also of such nature that it will prevent that incident from happening at the first time. So make sure that you understand how to compile that safety file. This is merely just a legal overview of what the construction regulation is all about. But please make sure that you have a look and see how to compile a safety file which is effective, because the intent of the construction regulation is to prevent that incident on your construction site.
I just attended the FTS safety file training course. Very informative, beautiful content and knowledge. So I just want